A very welcome back to K24 this morning. Has been an amazing time, especially on Interactive. We'd love to hear more of your feedback via our very many social media pages and, of course, through our SMS line 21222. However, right now we take a tangent to talk about something different. It's Thursday, and here we talk about your relationships. And today we focus on blended families. Now, some of you might be asking, blended families, what? Hiyo ni familia ama blenda ama ni namna gani? Don't worry, that conversation is happening for the next 1 hour. So keep your phone lines open, or rather our phone lines are open. So you better have some airtime and call and ask all those questions that you want to ask in regard to that. But on set right now, I do have Caroline Gaiduma, who has been here before as a life coach, but today she's here as a mother, as a wife, and so many other adjectives that I can use on her. We have also Mbogwa Mumbi, who is a marriage counselor and a counseling psychologist, here to here to do what he does best, actually, to encourage us and to give us his smile, which is always amazing. And we have a first timer on set. She goes by the name of Miss is it Okubo or Onkubo?
Okubo.
Okubo. Karibu tena sana.
Thank you.
Looking lovely.
Thank you.
I like your hairstyle. You look like those funky moms, fun moms, the kind of moms
Yeah,
who say,
well,
you know
yeah,
what?
yeah.
What's it? Tuneni shorts.
Yes, exactly.
Are you the one?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh, yes.
Karibu sana kwenye
Asante.
kipindi. All right.
Yes.
So let's start with Mr. Mbogwa Mumbi here.
Yes, sir.
Mbugs. Habari days umepotea sana.
Salama, niko poa, niko fiti.
Ni flashingi tangu tukuja kwa studio mpya.
Flash.
Ni venye una feel
Nasikia
jealous.
hizi stories siji za rings in Kachubari. Mpaka nikaogopa unashiki.
Lakini you're very romantic. Yeah.
You are.
How did you propose to your wife?
That's a very good question.
Ama niambia tu babe. Tunaenda ama tuendi. Unanitaka ama unitaki?
She had no choice. I already had a nice job. She didn't have a job. She had no choice but to follow me.
Ama it was come we stay before she realized it.
Yeah.
Ushalipa ng'ombe huko kwao, budaki ashakujua. You know, people are very funny in Africa. But karibu sana. Let's first of all describe what is a blended family.
I think when you talk about blended family, we are talking of a family where, for example, I may get married to a wife, for example, to a lady who probably has other kids or has a kid, and we'll also have our own kids.
Right.
My understanding is that we need to see how best we can be able to, for example, get to accept and acknowledge the other kid,
Right.
because I need to become her father, or rather his or her father.
Yes.
In our language, there is an adage that goes like, if you love a cow, you must also love the rope that ties the cow. That's my basic understanding of
Even if it smells like cow dung.
Absolutely, absolutely, because you chose the cow.
Yeah.
This cow had a rope or a tether that sometimes tethers it to a possession.
Right.
So you cannot love the cow, you cannot acknowledge the cow,
Right.
and fail to love the rope that ties the cow. Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's a very good definition of at least your version of a blended family.
Yes.
Caroline.
Yeah.
Before nikuulize the story of blended family, what do you think about this studio?
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Hey, I mean, I love it.
Kuna vile inakukunywa.
Kuna vile
Hollywood.
imenibeba.
Does it make me look more handsome now? Now I know how your husband got you.
Mimi sitaki hizo rings zako kwa kachumbari.
Alikuja akakuuliza, babe, what do you think about my beard? Ukamwambia, wow. All right, let's talk about blended families.
Yes.
You're in one.
Yes.
What is your definition of what the blended family is?
I think a blended family is a family where people are coming together, especially the children, because the children is what defines, I think, the blended family. The children, all the children you have, not all of them are from your partnership.
Right.
So the children could be from my partnership, previous partnership, or my partner's previous partnership.
Okay.
But we are together with them. That's what blended family is.
And I like the fact that you're saying partnership. It's not necessarily marriage.
Yeah.
It's not at I'm a divorcee, or you know, I'm a widower or a widow.
Yeah.
So you know, let's get over to you, madam, and tell me, what is your take on a blended family?
Well, I just want to back up what she has said, that basically blended family does not necessarily mean a past marriage. It can be a previous relationship, getting a child out of wedlock, and your partner the same. And let me use a layman language.
Right.
Most people call it a step family, so that maybe people can understand. Yesterday when I shared that I was going to speak at, on K24
Right.
on, regarding the blended family, most people were asking me, what is blended family? And so I just told them, tune in and you'll get to understand.
Yeah.
So step family is basically what most people get to understand,
Right.
whereby these children are from your partner's side and these other children are from your partner, but they come together when you people unite as a marriage.
All right.
Yes.
Still sticking on you.
Yes.
Did you ever see this coming, finding yourself in a blended family?
Well, I got my son when I was 22.
Okay.
So actually, immediately after that,
Right.
I can say I expected that to come. But when I was born and growing up, being the only girl in my family, I never saw that coming.
Right.
But immediately it happened. I mean, what else?
Yeah.
Those are some of the expectations that
Unakubali.
Yes. So it was, I took it positive.
Right.
Either getting married to a man who didn't have a child, or because I had one,
Yes.
or getting
Accepting someone else who has their own children.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
And is that the case in?
No, the case is apparently our case is very unique. Is when I was getting married or when we met, our children. I have a son,
Right.
and my husband has a daughter.
Okay.
We both got our children out of wedlock.
Okay.
So when we
met already with now.
Yes, when we
a
met,
family.
and it's just like God who brought us together, and all of them are age mates.
Right.
So, and they're actually sitting in for Form 4 right now, both of them. So it's just a unique case for us.
All right, nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll get to that situation in a minute.
Yes.
Mr. Mbogwa.
Yes.
Blended families sometimes can be difficult because sometimes they are born out of a situationship, right? What in your professional career as a marriage counselor, what are some of the major challenges that blended families face?
I think first and foremost, one of the challenges is that sometimes as we start on a relationship,
Yeah.
we do not discuss how best we are going to incorporate our partnership into the new relationship. Because sometimes I may get into a relationship with Carol just because it's Carol I am looking for or that I want.
So you don't want
probably sometimes we do not discuss the baggage.
Right.
And that becomes an issue later in our relationship. I think it is very, very important from the very onset, because this is a challenge I have really gotten to experience in many families. That we need to discuss the future of these kids that we got from a previous partnership.
Okay.
Because it has become part of our relationship.
Right.
And it is something that we cannot ignore. One of the challenge I realize is that unlike a situation where you have disclosed your baggage or situation, sometimes you do not make sufficient disclosures.
Okay.
So you later realize, Carol or myself tells you, or you discover through other means that Mbogo had a kid.
Yes.
And I didn't disclose.
Okay.
So I think it is very important first and foremost to plan together. Because to me, it's like business. It's like we are, it's like we are merging, isn't it, into one unit from the previous partnerships that we had. And therefore, we need to have a very clear vision of this new unit and how best we're going to go moving forward, such that I must be committed to totally accepting her child from the previous partnership as my own child now.
Okay.
In fact, I become the father now. In fact, in the African setup,
Right.
there was a way of doing what? I don't know which word to use.
Of incorporating.
Incorporating,
Yes.
and adopting this customarily as my, as my child.
Yes.
Okay.
Which means that, because you see,
Was there like a ritual?
yes, there was a
Okay.
ritual. And I think in every African tribe there was a ritual, which kinds of ties me, soul ties. We talked about soul ties here before.
Right.
Ties my soul and his or her soul as a father. Because we've always said that fatherhood is destiny. And there's nothing as important, for example, to our children as fatherhood.
Right.
So coming and just staying together, to me, is not enough. We need to have that ritual, in my opinion, that ties our souls and our future and our destiny together. Such that even this child feels
Right.
strongly that this is my rightful father. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Caroline.
Yeah.
He has mentioned something very important in terms of, disclosing, full disclosure.
Yeah.
Was that an issue for you?
For me, I got my child when I was younger than her. I was 20.
All right.
And so I came to the realization that this is something that's going to be on my back for the rest of my life.
Right.
So I didn't want to waste time liking somebody who would come and disappoint me later and tell me, oh, I didn't know you have a kid, I'm sorry. So that was happening. My conversation with anybody who showed interest in me and I liked them knew I had a child.
From the onset?
Day one. Not even day two, day one.
So I come and say, hello, Caro. Yeah, I have a child. Proceed.
Of course not.
They call me Bambuzi all the time.
But I would find a way of weaving it in the conversation just so that we save both of ourselves from those feelings of, oh, I had, you know, invested so much time and energy in thinking
Only
this will work, only to discover, you know. So everybody who liked me and they showed interest, they knew that I had a child. And so whoever went further, and, you know, like my current partner who went further, he knew, and he knew what the terms were. And I also realized that I had to make terms, my terms, in terms of how to relate with someone, especially during courtship.
All right.
In regards to my child.
Okay.
Because I wasn't, you know, you can't meet somebody and decide now this one is going to be my husband. Right. So how do you interact with them without putting your child through all this drama of people in, out, in, out?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Quite interesting. Day one. Did yours, or rather, was your process the same dating after your child? Did you have to say it from day one?
For me, just as Carol has said, the baby came first in terms of even before we went further. Yes, that was the first thing. I was in a previous relationship. Apparently, one of the things that made the relationship not work, of course, it's God who allowed me to get married to my husband. Yes, but the previous relationship, one of the things that made it not work was the fact that I had a child. Okay. Not on the man's side, but the parent side. Oh. You see, they put a lot of pressure. Exactly. Yes. Wow. Yes. So the man might accept you, but the parents were not for it. You're not getting married to a lady who has a kid. Yes. You know. And
okay, finish. I feel like I've just cut you.
No, that's fine.
Mbugua, she has mentioned something that a lot of people overlook, and that is your parents, or rather the step grandparents of this child. I want to marry Caroline, who has a child, who is not my child, but my parents are looking at me like, are you sure? Single ladies. Exactly. That is also part of the blended family, but we never think about it.
It is part of the blended family. And I think as parents, we need to be a bit more empathetic, to be very honest. We need to put ourselves in the shoes of our son or our daughter. Supposing I am Carol's dad, or mom for that matter, and Carol has gotten a child outside wardrobe. Honest, what is it that I would wish for my daughter Carol? And the other thing that we forget as parents is that, trust me, she may have gotten, I'm sure parents have contributed a lot to having a child before marriage. They have contributed a lot, either in terms of counseling, mentorship.
I don't think so.
I think you may not directly related to that, but I know, trust me.
And of course not in all
the sense that not all the parents. In the sense that if I did not, to a large extent, as the father or the mother of that family, as the chief mentor to my kids, trust me, I am responsible to a large extent for the behavior of my kids. True. And I am not blaming any parent. It's not in all homes, it's not in all parents. But if we did not have the right value system in the family, at times it may contribute. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing probably to have a child outside wedlock, but I'm saying that parents need to be supportive structures to our children. Okay. Because the moment that I tell Carol she cannot, or my son can't get married to somebody with a child, am I suggesting also that, and this is a phrase that we used to use, we used to call them bastards, isn't it? Illegitimate. They can't be legitimate. They are kids like everybody else, with all due respect. They have their God-given right to live and succeed. They have their God-given right to have fatherhood. So I think to a large extent, some of us parents are not empathetic. And I would want to say again, and sometimes we do not realize that we may have contributed to that situation in one way or another. Not in all cases. So I think it's important for us parents to be, or our parents to be a bit open-minded and realize, by the way, we are talking about a child We're talking about life. We're not talking about a business or a car or an asset for that matter.
Yeah.
We're talking about trying to ensure and guarantee the future of this child.
Yes. However, some grandparents look at that child as a liability, which we shall get to in a minute. Did you have issues with your parents telling you, Caroline, what is this you're getting yourself into?
My own parents or my parents on my mother-in-law, because I don't have
all the parents, because now it's a blended family.
Yeah. So on my side, my parents were very cautious that I was getting into the right relationship, because of course your parents love you and they want the best for you. So they want you to check and check again. Are you sure? Are you sure this family has accepted your child? Are you sure they know you have a child?
Yes.
Are you sure they are saying yes to you and the child? You know, and so we had a discussion and they were, oh, do you want to leave the son with us? You know, because we know that there are sometimes some families will say yes and then they'll go and not accept your child. So, and that was not an option for me. I was like, wherever I'm going with my child. Now, on the other side, I had a very interesting relationship with my mother-in-law. And when I went and they decided they're going to come home, because they came home before I went, and they came home to see my parents, I remember my mother-in-law saying, I am not going to your house until I have met your child.
We have Dennis from Nairobi. Dennis, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, and you?
I'm quite fine, thank you. What is your question or comment?
Yeah, I'm so interested in your morning contribution here on K24.
Asante sana, bro.
Yeah, I just wanted to contribute or ask one question to one of the ladies if they can answer me.
Please do.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys who was interested in a lady who just had a kid before marriage.
Right.
Yeah, but now there's some challenges which come in between.
Like which one?
Now, let's just say like from the kid, maybe when they are playing with some of our friends, yeah, they can be talking some issue. I don't know if kids also are parents of the kid. Okay. Now you get this mentality they put in the children's mind that this is not your real father, biological father, I mean. Such a thing really hurts back to the person like me.
Yeah.
So on this issue, how can you address on such an issue? Maybe all the behavior is bad from the kid.
Yeah.
And the mother is not talking about it. You try to talk to her and the kid, but nothing is touching. On such an issue, how can you handle it?
Thank you very much, Dennis. Mbogwa, I think you're the counselor here. you're best to answer that question.
So this is a situation where one party has not fully accepted this child, and they may keep reminding either the child or that this is probably not your dad, isn't it? Like you may have said earlier, I think there's something that we need to acknowledge. If I really would want to have a relationship with Carol here, or my, honestly, we need to discuss all issues and have full disclosure.
Right.
Absolutely. And I also need, like you said, which is very important. The blended family also includes both parents from both sides. And I need to prepare them. And I need to be very clear about the relationship that I'm establishing with Carol in the long term.
Okay.
And I need to caution them against some language, or behavior.
Okay.
That this is my child. If she is called Carol, I am from henceforth going to be Carol's dad.
Yes.
So I think especially as the father, as the dad in that family, I have a huge responsibility to determine to a large extent how my parents and relatives behave towards this child or family.
I have a Dennis from Meru. Leo ma Dennis wameamua kuingia hame. Dennis, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Habari gani my friend? Unasikiza kutoka Meru?
Salama sana.
What is your comment or question, sir?
I had a situation some time back whereby I was in a relationship with a lady.
Okay.
It happened that in our relationship, after maybe like 3-4 months,
yes,
she was she was pregnant. That is
okay.
And when she went for her first clinic, she was told to go with a spouse.
Okay.
And When we went, she was diagnosed with HIV, that is.
Okay.
That day, and when I was called, mine came negative.
Okay.
And we had initially before me getting to her, she was in another relationship.
All right.
Which actually almost termed the duration was almost the same time we met.
Okay.
I tried to figure it out with her and even ask a lot of experts concerning. We're in a relationship now that I'm in, and she's saying that we are we are moving ahead.
Okay.
And she's now positive. I'm negative.
Are you together?
Yes.
Are you still together?
No. After that test, I decided to opt out.
Are you co-parenting?
Not really.
So the child is not yours.
That one now I've never realized. I've never.
Okay.
We've never gone any further from there.
All right.
So.
All right. Okay, Dennis, I think I understand your question. We shall answer it in a minute. Asante sana. We also have Ibra from Kikuyu.
Yeah.
Good morning, Ibrahim.
Good morning to you, sir.
Mimi niko salama, labda wewe.
Mimi niko mzima.
What is your question or comment?
Nilikuwa na chanja hivi. Katika ndoa.
Naam.
Ni ya watu wawili.
Ndio.
First of all, most of ladies wanapenda kuahidi madani zao. After all time yenye tapata kwa serious. Then anakuambia nilikuwa hivi na hivi. But make more worse. At the time wewe mwenyewe ukitolea kwambia demu, niko na watoto.
Yes.
Niliachiwa ama iko na hivi na hivi. The first thing yenye wewe mwenyewe nakuuliza, mamaka aliendanga wapi? Most of them sisi hatuwezi kuulizia baba yake aliendanga wapi.
Yes.
After that kwa hivyo mtu pengine anakuwa hata akwambia kama umeachana.
Anakunyamazia tu.
Anakunyamazia tu.
Okay, Ibrahim.
Mtoto si kitu ya kufichwa. Na ni baraka kwa kutoka Mwenyezi Mungu. Na tunashukuru, tunahitaji kuambiana ukweli.
All right. Ibrahim, asante tena sana. All right. So, Mrs. Okubu, let's first of all answer the first Dennis. What is your take on his situation before we get to the other Dennis with his HIV problem?
Okay. The first Dennis, what was the situation? You know, there are two Dennis.
Yes.
The other one was having a child.
Yes.
Yes, and this other one was about HIV.
Right.
Yeah, okay. I think, as we say, blended family is all about openness. I mean, when you get into this relationship, just be open from the word go.
Okay.
Then apart from just being open, treat these children as your own, equitable. I mean, have equity among them. Let them connect in a way that they can connect and just grow up as children of one family.
All right.
Yeah.
Caroline, Dennis 1, we are calling him Dennis 1.
Yeah.
Dennis 1 was saying that, you know, the mother of his child was telling the child that this is not your real father.
Yeah.
Obviously, you could tell she was trying to distance herself from the situation. Now, from a woman's point of view, what's up with Dennis's ex-girlfriend or partner?
I think there's a difference between telling the child the truth, and then there's a difference between that and now having an agenda of creating a rift. Because what is happening is a blended family cannot work if there are hidden agendas. A blended family cannot work if everyone is not willing to be truthful and authentic, and at the same time vulnerable. A blended family cannot function transactionally, because when it's transactionally, the kids end up suffering, because now we are using them as a bait or as whatever leverage to do whatever it is. So this woman is using her child as leverage to get the man, to threaten the man in the relationship or to put him in a precarious position. And that's wrong. But it's very important, especially when these children are preteens and coming into teenagers, to tell them the truth. Because some of them, like my son, didn't have any recollection of our life before, because I got married when he was going to 7 years.
Wow.
So now he he needed to know the truth, because we are living in a world where there are different dynamics of families. It's no longer mother, father, child. And now they are coming into this world, and then they are coming and realizing, oh, my parents have been deceiving me all this time. Do you think you're ever gonna save them from this, from their own mind? It's going to be a dangerous place, and they lose trust in you. So tell them the truth, but then don't use them
as a weapon.
It's not a relationship, is not a transaction, and shouldn't be. Yeah.
All right. So we take a short break. When we return, we shall look at some of your social media feedback. That's on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at K24 TV Usisahau. And also our SMS line remains 21222. And the phone lines obviously written down on your screen. So tafadhali tupigie simu, would really love to hear your feedback.